Max, TJ and Elliot Pinson battling towards the very end of the 2016 season. Don't forget, of course, that this live stream is brought to you by Motorsport Media and Motorsport Radio live online. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Snapchat, we're on any form of communication that's yet to be invented. Follow us, find us, add us, whatever you would like. It would be wonderful to hear from you. Pitbike Open race is about to get underway then. Max Cook on pole position, TJ Toms alongside him, Elliot Pinson on the second row, on the third position on the grid, lights out, and away we go. Then it's a good start from Elliot Pinson. He gets an absolute lightning getaway from third position on the grid from the front row. Keep an eye out though for Max Cook. Will he manage to lead down towards the first corner? It's going to be very interesting to see, nearly side by side as well between TJ Toms. So TJ Toms slots himself up into second place, Max Cook into third position. Where did Fraser Rogers manage to get out of that grid as well? He looks like he's gotten a good start. He's up inside the top four, almost inside the top two as well, because it looks like he was having a go at Max Cook through the chicane, and then into the back straight they go. It is still going to be, well, it was going to be Max Cook who was leading the way, but it's not anymore by the looks of things. From what I can see here, it is going to be TJ Toms who leads the way, but not for long, because here comes Fraser Rogers looking up the inside. A Dan Dare move on the brakes into the right-hander. He goes a bit deep into there, but manages to hold the move off. Will he get a good exit out of there? No, he won't, because TJ Toms is looking to try and challenge him as they go through the right-hander. The four leading quartet, I should say, rather, that we saw in the first race looks to continue the same form within the second race here at FAB-Racing. Down the hill we go and into the braking zone once again, into the hairpin. Oh, very deep on the brakes for TJ Toms, but he hits the front ahead of Fraser Rogers, ahead of Max Cook, ahead of the fourth place man of Elliot Pinson for the time being, as they go through the bus stop once again and then come cascading down the hill and over the timing line. The daylight beginning to fade here at FAB-Racing at Mallory Park, but nonetheless very exciting to see what happens. Fraser looks like the inside, he looks towards the outside of TJ Thomas as they come across the line. The two separated by just 0.03 of a second. No way through for him there at all for TJ Thomas at the moment. Fraser then still leading the way by the looks of things for the time being across the line into the first corner. Go the back-end runners. Neil Kinnaird also in and amongst the mix by the looks of things on his number 55 machine. So good to see Neil out on track. Steve Keys, also an unfamiliar name that we're not used to seeing in the Pitbike Open category. Down the back straight we go, in towards the left chicane. And it is going to be, by the looks of things, Fraser Rogers that leads the way from the second place man of TJ Toms. Then it's Max Cook in third, then Elliot Pinson in fourth. Bit of a gap back to P5 at the moment, which is Richard Holmes-Williams currently. Then it's John Ansell. After John, it's Daniel Lee in seventh place, Cameron Hall in eighth position, Jack Qualters is in ninth, and then Jody Fieldhouse rounding out the top 10. So the Go Pink Racing squad not having a bad weekend at all there inside the top 10. Jake Clark in 11th place, then Craig Walker in 12th, Steve Keys in 13th position, and then Neil Kinnaird rounding out the top 14. That's your running order. It was Fraser Rogers with the fastest lap last time around, a 1:13.3 as they came across the line. Who will get the fastest lap this time around? It's Fraser in front. It's TJ looking to try and challenge the lead, side by side between the top two, and side by side for third and fourth place as well, because Elliot Pinson and James Ansell are having a great little battle as well. Richard Holmes-Williams has lost out on that last lap. He's now down into P6 as they go across the timing line and in towards the first corner, but TJ leading the way. Identical lap time to Fraser Rogers in second place, but it was actually Elliot Pinson in third position in this race who actually set the fastest lap time by over 2/10 of a second by the looks of things. Indeed it was. So Pinson with the fastest lap last time around. James Ansell in fourth position. He could prove to be very interesting, could James. Let's keep an eye on proceedings. Fraser still around the outside. TJ looking to try and find a way through into the left, then the right, and then the left once again. Here comes TJ looking up the inside of Fraser Rogers. Up towards the hairpin we go, the final race on the 2016 FAB-Racing calendar. Who is going to claim the victory? It's anybody's guess. It's always close in Pitbike Open. That is proven to be the case out on track here at Mallory as well. It's a circuit that Fraser knows really well, but he's coming under real pressure from Max Cook. Cook around the outside of TJ and looking to try and find his way around the outside into the hairpin he was of Fraser, but he couldn't find a way through into the bus stop, and out of it they go, and down the hill we go once more. It's still Fraser that leads the way then from Max Cook. Then comes the number 7 of TJ Toms, and then Elliot Pinson not too far behind also in P4. So very, very close on circuit between all of these four riders. Fraser now loses out to Max Cook and TJ, who both get their way around the outside in towards the first corner. Fantastic. So Max Cook manages to get himself down into second place, and then TJ, of course, not looking too bad out there at all. Down the back straight we go and in towards the left, right, left. Max Cook leads the way, but TJ looks to try and find a way through. So TJ up the inside into the chicane. Fraser not looking too bad either. Fraser Rogers, the National Superstock 1000 rider for the Murillo Racing Kawasaki team. He was racing here last weekend on board that motorcycle at the race of the year, the only real race where we get to see Superstock, Super bike and super sport machines all on the same track at once. In towards the hairpin we go, really close. TJ though has to hold on to second place as Fraser Rogers hits the front, Max Cook into third place and Elliot Pinson into P4. Into the bus stop we go and out of it now, into the left-hander, on towards the start-finish straight we go, side by side between Fraser Rogers and TJ Toms. TJ hits the front, Fraser now down into second place. In towards the first corner we go, trying to find a way up the inside is Fraser. Oh, things about to move, but gets his nose cut off right at the last moment between himself and TJ. That was incredibly close between them, two separated by just a couple of hundredths of a second as they go through the first chicane out of 3 here on the Mallory Park circuit. Of course, these motorcycles and machines all using the full circuit layout here at Mallory Park as opposed to the revised mini-moto layout that we used earlier on this morning here at the circuit. Meanwhile, into the lead of the race once again goes Fraser Rogers. Now TJ down into second place, Max Cook into third. Fourth place is still Elliot Pinson. Pinson looking pretty good out there in fourth at the moment, but doesn't seem to have a response to Max and TJ and of course Fraser, who's leading the way, but I'm sure that will change. Max and Elliot are especially very, very good at coming good later on in the races. Meanwhile, Fraser gets himself down into third place and Elliot Pinson gets ruffled up as well. He nearly gets taken out by them and loses quite a hunk of time. So it's now a top 3 battle as opposed to a top 4 battle. He stayed on the motorcycle, did Elliot, and retained fourth position, but nonetheless he was just trying to go for a gap. I think there wasn't potentially there. Across the line come the top 3. TJ from Fraser, from Elliot. Sorry, from Max, I should say, rather. In towards the first corner we go. Ooh, looking up the inside, he's into the lead of the race now. Is Max Cook, second place, still being held on to by TJ Toms. Then Fraser Rogers, looking pretty good out there. Into the first chicane we go. 5 laps completed out of 8 here at FAB-Racing at Mallory Park. Daylight now beginning to fade. The circuit beginning to get a little bit darker and a bit more gloomy, perhaps weather that we were used to from earlier on this morning. Down the back straight we go. And it is going to be Max Cook then that leads the way ahead of TJ Toms, and then ahead of Fraser Rogers. Elliot Pinson on the recovery ride, trying to find a way to get himself back onto the leading trio. It's actually Fraser now that leads the way as they come up the hill and head in towards the hairpin here at the Mallory Park circuit. It's a good overtaking opportunity. It's an off-camber corner as well. Ooh, very deep on the brakes there was TJ, had a leg out trying to slow the bike down. Fraser into second place then, Max Cook into third position. Of course, all of these 3 riders having competed within BSB this year in one form or another. Max Cook and TJ Toms have been competing within the Moto Team category, whereas Fraser Rogers, as I said earlier on, has been competing in the Moto Star category, and Elliot Pinson, who is sitting in fourth place currently, he has been racing in the Kawasaki Team Green Cup in this year. John Ansell, James Ansell and Richard Holmes-Williams are all battling for position. James ahead of John, ahead of Richard at the moment. They're battling for 5th, 6th and 7th position so far within this race. The leading quartet quite a way out in front for the time being. They come down the back straight once again. They were very close on circuit as they came across the timing line. Will they be able to find a way through? Breaking down in towards the right-hander. TJ has to relinquish the lead of this race. Fraser now up into the lead, but will TJ be able to find his way back? They're very close. He looks around the outside. It's TJ Toms, the Moto Star rider for the Wilson Racing team, but can't quite find a way through. And here comes Max Cook as well, and he's bringing Elliot Pinson with him. They were nearly 4 wide as they went on towards that straight. What will it be like by the time they get down to the braking zone? It's a smorgasbord of riders, an absolute swarm of them going for the braking zone, all going for the same piece of tarmac, and it's still Fraser that manages to retain himself on top. TJ Toms into second place still, and then comes Max Cook in third with Elliot Pinson in P4 for the time being. Across the line we go. Start another lap. The penultimate lap of racing here at FAB-Racing. Braking then down in towards the right-hander of the turn 1 of Gerrard. Who's going to lead the way? Will it be TJ? Will it be Fraser? Or will it be Elliot Pinson? In towards the right-left, then the right again we go. Here at the Mallory Park circuit, the final race on the 2016 calendar. It's been absolutely enthralling all season in Pitbike Open and indeed throughout all of the classes in this 2016 season. But who will reign on top come the checker flag? Will it be Fraser? Will it be TJ? Will it be Max? Let's have a look up the inside. In towards the chicane goes Fraser Rogers. He gets himself ahead of TJ Toms. Max Cook looking to try and find a way through. Elliot Pinson snuck himself up into third position on that last lap as well. It's going to be incredibly close between them as they come towards the timing line. Checker flag being readied as they come up towards the hairpin for the final time. Who is going to lead the way? Will it be into the hairpin? Is it going to be Fraser? It looks like he was in front as they came to the timing line. Into the hairpin for the final time we go, though. He sticks his leg out. There's Fraser Rogers into second place for TJ Toms. Max Cook into third, and then comes Elliot Pinton into 4th place, in towards the bus stop for the final time we go, and cascading down the hill, and it is going to be the checker flag then for Fraser Rogers by the skin of his teeth. That is so close between them, separated by just a couple of tenths of a second. TJ Thompson in 2nd place, Max Cook held on to 3rd position, Elliot Pinson in 4th place, James Ansell in P5, Richard Holmes Williams rounded out the top 6, and John Ansell, he should have come across the line in P7, but we're not sure what happened. There he is at the far end of the circuit. Oh dear, a shame to end the weekend there for John in the gravel trap. He's up and okay, which is the main thing, whether it was the bike that just cut out on him, but he was due to get a top 7 finish, and he will now get absolutely nothing. Daniel Lee then inherits 7th place, Jack Walters in 8th place, Cameron Hall in 9th, Jody Fieldhouse in 10th place, Craig Walker is in 11th, Steve Keys will round out the top 12, Jake Clark in 13th position, and then Neil Kinnaird in 14th place here at the FAB-Racing British Minibikes Championship. But what an end to the season